It's an oddity to be so powerfully beckoned by something without a voice. I don't know what it is about a river that mesmerizes me. Something about its journey, where it's come from, and where it's going. As old as time, but always new. Always the same, but always different. Riders don't seek to tame the river, but rather for they themselves to be untamed by it, because the river is a deceptive force of nature, calm and serene one moment, but the next, a violently churning hole that sinisterly invites you to see its depths. This wasn't going to be our first journey down the Chetco River, but once you're that deep into the wilderness, it's always filled with the unknown, no matter how many times you've walked into it.
It's easy to lose, and it's really important.
Yeah, of gear to rescue, paddle would be the top priority.
But I get your priority list with swimmer.
Yep, swimmer, paddle, both.
Okay, yeah. I think it was early in the season, but also the fire damage. Like, even where we were, no crickets, no frogs, no mosquitoes. It's quiet. You liked ours, right?
Yeah,
I liked mine.
What brand lasagna? The lasagna is great.
Okay.
You didn't get Mountain House, did you?
He didn't get Mountain
Yeah,
House.
those are... Anything but Mountain House is disgusting.
So I started trading them for their food.
This is, what do you mean, a hard portage? Like there wasn't a trail?
It was just
no trail.
It's
deep.
all clambering rocks
And it was this like new mineral, and it was like this like red slick.
Oh.
And we hadn't seen it before.
So you got to do some like mountaineering style stuff on some of this.
Yeah.
But then didn't you also get yourself dropped into a sieve?
Almost into a sieve. Almost.
Right. So you came pretty close.
I came close. Doesn't count.
Zach, it doesn't count, dude.
I was doing a lot of praying.
The whole trip.
Definitely on the river.
I'd like to say just this is such a very comforting conversation.
Lasagna.
Islands in the stream, that is who we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world where we rely on each other. Oh. They use an excavator to dig them out?
Yeah, sometimes, because like you can get into nasty bouldery sections. So sometimes they'll hand dig, sometimes they gotta bring in an excavator.
Wow, that is dedication. It's gotta be expensive.
Alright, we just turned on to $8 Mountain Road. Turning dirt here in a minute.
Day one, gentlemen. Today's task is to complete a 7-mile hike until the Kalmiopsis Wilderness, to the site of the old Bailey cabin. This is extremely remote, steep, and rugged terrain. Our start point is at 4,200 feet elevation, and the high point is 4,800 feet, so approximately a 600-foot elevation gain over the course of the day. There is no water to be found along the trail until we reach camp. The trail is easily lost, and at times completely covered with snow. Keep maps accessible and take note of landmarks. Hazards. Loose rock on a steep trail, wildlife, exhaustion, dehydration. That said, this is one of the most beautiful and remote wilderness areas in the country, and the challenges will be worth the adventure. Day 1. We just reached Bailey's cabin, campsite number 1, and we're ready to take a rest. So we're gonna get our stuff set up.
We're here.
Hoorah! Hoorah! Hoorah!
Oh, goodness gracious.
The growls come out. Good night, Zach.
It's not going to be an overly strenuous day. Like,
It's gonna be,
it'll hurt
well,
because it's mostly downhill, right?
well, it is mostly downhill, but it's like this last section right here where it's just nothing flat. It was actually beautiful. Stars were out. It was really nice. It was quiet, except for the frogs. Gotta listen to the frogs all night.
Really took this opportunity to get grounded with the earth, you know, one with nature. My sleeping pad decided not to stay inflated. Some might think that's a bad thing, but really, you know, it's pretty great. Me and Mother Nature were like this today, especially my lower back. We'll see how the rest of the day plays out. Today we finished the last 2 miles of our hike to the put-in at the Chetco River. A hike that begins with a 200-foot seemingly vertical climb out of the Bailey cabin site to the base of Bailey Mountain, known by some as Torture Mountain. From there it's continuous switchbacks as we navigate a steep 2,000-foot descent to the river. Let that sink in for a second. The last section of the trail goes through a protected botanical area where we may see the rare flower I cannot pronounce.
So, here we got our very own Oregon native. It's a species of Kalmiopsis that only is known to grow here, I believe. in the Kalmiopsis Wilderness. And particularly in all the areas we've been, it's on this hillside. So it's such a unique plant. In fact, I know that other people have tried to propagate it outside of this region, but it hasn't worked so well. So it's quite a treat to be able to see it. Doesn't smell, but it's quite little pretty and cute little pink tufts everywhere along this hillside.
It's an arduous hike, but its reward is the bank of the Chetco River. Looking downstream from the put-in, we'll have 30 miles of river to cover over 6 days that will require navigating over 150 rapids, class 3 or higher.
You guys see the river?
Yeah, I see it.
Woo!
After we reach the Chetco River, have some lunch, and switch our backpacks out for boats, it's a 3-mile trek downriver to our campsite. This 3-mile section of river is known as the Magic Canyon because of the deep pools tucked between beautiful canyon walls. Let's go get it.
Start of the trek downriver. First flip. We even got it on video. I'm gonna do that. That was it. Ah! Oh, man. River trip 1. Woo! Made it!
This is great. Dude, this will be... Who needs a sleeping pad?
Not you, because yours has a hole.
Yeah, I definitely don't need a sleeping pad. Sleeping pads are for wusses.
Yeah, like me.
Me too. Zach just had an exciting catch. Take a look at this.
Who needs to bring freeze-dried food?
First person.
Here, stick your finger out, Nolan.
No, I'm not gonna stick my finger out. Nope. Look at that guy. Woo woo. First person catch something out of the river. Cook him
Dinner.
up for dinner.
Dinner. That'll be my dessert.
The dessert. Nice.
Hey, there's another one. I wonder if I can get that one.
Where's he at? Oh, sure enough. You have to risk getting warm. Oh, gone.
He's smarter than that one, another one.
Dinner is ready for some cooking.
Day 3. Today we're only floating 3.5 miles downstream. However, this is the most challenging section of the Chetco River. This section of river is known as the Upper Gorge and boasts an intimidating gradient of over 100 feet per mile. Prepare for a long day of extensive scouting and portaging.
No way! No way!
Hazards. Multiple class 4 and 5 rapids full of sieves and undercut rocks. The possibility of encountering log jams in some of the rapids is also high, and the utter remoteness of our location. Gentlemen, that is your mission.
I accept.
I accept too. We all accept.
Sign off.
This is where we've dropped in for lunch. A little gravel bar.
There you go.
It was ugly, but we made it. I blew a D-ring now. Blew a D-ring. Back strap, the leg strap? For my back strap.
Oh, man. That's the thing when I did last time was
That was a good set.
Bernie was terrifying. I didn't want to go down that. John, come on.
Come on, John.
Come on, John. Come
Yeah.
on. Come on. Come on.
Woo! Get it ready. Eddie out.
Oh, back and forth, back and forth. Like a pro.
Yeah.
Eddie out! Eddie out! Eddie out!
Yeah, there's just too many hazards in there. All right, so this right here is Portage Rapid. We just finished lining around it. It's a class 5. Lots of undercuts. Let me get a better angle. There we go. Lots of undercuts and sieves. We didn't want to chance it, so we just roped around it. Everybody's safe. And that one is a doozy. Arriving at camp number 3. Woo! Yeah, we're gonna be sleeping close tonight.
We have been on the water for 2 days and we're still in the burn area. This fire must have been huge.
This was, I believe, the biscuit fire, and it burned in 2002, which is over 20 years ago. It was hot and it covered a huge amount of land. Interesting is that about 55 to 60 years before that, Japan tried to burn down this forest during World War II. It was 1942, and the United States was in the midst of the Second World War. Japan sent an I-25 long-range submarine aircraft carrier to a position off the Oregon coast near the town of Brookings. At 6 a.m. on September 9th, the I-25 surfaced in the midst of heavy fog. Pilot Nobuo Fujita constructed a seaplane on the deck of the submarine that was loaded with 2 incendiary bombs intended to set the Siskiyou National Forest on fire. Fujita's mission was to draw the U.S. military's resources away from the Pacific Theater. With one goal in mind, Fujita was launched from the I-25 by catapult.
Catapult? No way!
Yeah, isn't that crazy? But it didn't work. As Fujita flew over Mount Emily, he dropped one of the bombs, which landed on Wheeler Ridge and started a small fire. But heavy rainfall the night before had left the forest extremely damp, and the U.S. Forest Service was able to quickly extinguish the flames. The other bomb site was never located, and the mission was deemed unsuccessful.
But on its way back to Japan, it sunk 2 of our ships.
Yeah, so it wasn't totally unsuccessful, but there is a plot twist. The bombs dropped over Oregon in September of 1942 were the only incidents of enemy aircraft bombing on the contiguous United States. In 1962, the city of Brookings invited Fujita and his family back to Brookings as a gesture of international peace. The Japanese government was assured Fujita would not be tried for war crimes, and Fujita accepted the invitation. Fujita had an heirloom katana samurai sword that had been passed down through generations of his family over 400 years. Fujita carried the sword with him during every mission he flew, including the bombings in Oregon. Fujita brought the sword with him, intending to use it to commit seppuku if he was arrested for war crimes. However, although his visit stirred some controversy in town, Fujita was largely received with respect and affection. A lasting friendship developed between Fujita and the citizens of Brookings, and Fujita gifted his family's katana sword to the city, where it remains to this day in the Brookings Public Library. Fujita returned to Brookings several times over the years that followed, and on one occasion planted a tree at the bomb site as a gesture of peace. He was named an ambassador of goodwill by the city for his continued peace efforts and made an honorary citizen of Brookings prior to his death on September 30th of 1997.
Nothing like a morning rock throwing contest. Getting that set up here.
Might be a little wavy.
That's the one right there. Oh, so close. Day 4. Tonight's camp lies 11 miles downstream, making today the longest day on the river by mileage. And if yesterday wasn't the longest day by time, today will take that trophy as well. However, the gradient eases considerably as we exit the upper and enter the lower gorge. We'll begin to transition out of the area affected by the 2002 Biscuit Fire as we enter sections of dense forest filling the canyon. Wild azaleas can be spotted along the banks, and their sweet honeysuckle-like aroma permeates the air.
eating something.
We've just dropped onto this little sandbar here and discovered a bear track. Follow up this way into the woods. So we'll have to tie the food up tonight. Oh, he's down. Good? How'd you sleep, Wyatt?
What was the question? Day 5, gentlemen. You likely groaned as you rolled off your mat this morning and cursed yourself for getting old. Your muscles are probably feel like they've endured a heavy cycle of an industrial washing machine. And that's because they have. It would probably be a fair assessment to describe the last few days as exhilarating and painful and exhausting. A day of riverside R&R probably doesn't sound so bad, huh? Well, wish granted. Today's 5-mile trek down to Allen's Camp will feel significantly shorter. While the river will still hold some exciting whitewater sets, there is nothing of note to report. Enjoy the day, conquer the water, seize the chill, and know your location.
All right, so we did a bit of a snag here. You see John out in the water here. He's communicating with Wyatt up top, if you can see him up here. Wyatt lost his paddle and his throw rope in this last rapid. Wyatt's boat is down over here now. While they were looking for all the gear, oh man, now Zach is swimming across the river up here. Oh man. This is quite the start to the day. While they were searching for Wyatt's gear, Zach lost his boat. John was able to save it. Good catch by John. It's over here now. But just kind of a wild area, a lot of rapids. And we're trying to just recover some gear. Once everything gets reset, the set continues. Pretty good whitewater through here. And it goes on. It's just a big boulder canyon here. So exciting first part to the day. We're awake now.
While the river will still hold some exciting whitewater sets, there is nothing of note to report.
Zach made it back, swimming across. He's okay, but now Wyatt's on the wrong side of the river up here. He just tossed his throw rope across. I'm guessing he's getting ready to try and swim it. This is pretty fast moving water. Man, what a start to the day. This is where I guess some athleticism comes into place. Oh yeah, okay, here's Wyatt getting ready to swim it. I don't know if you can see him up there on the rock. All right, here he goes. We're ready to catch him. John, you got your throw rope? You have it? We're good. All right, looks like Wyatt made it. Woo! Wyatt swam across. Man, what a start to the day. Nothing of note.
All right, so we've just arrived in camp for the night. This is Alan's camp. And now we're working on setting camp. So Wyatt and I have decided to go on a little adventure, a hike up Tolman's Creek. This is Tolman's Creek flows right down into the campsite. Nice campsite. And apparently there's a waterfall somewhere up here. So that's the adventure we're on. The other two, Zach and John, stayed back in camp, taking a little afternoon siesta. Let's go find a waterfall.
Gotta be getting close. What's that?
Huckleberry.
Oh.
Still kind of sweet.
All right, Wyatt is saying he sees the fall up ahead. Let's keep charging on. Go get a view. See if it's worth this hike. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, man, that's gorgeous. How was that hike?
That's fun. That's for the faint of heart.
No way.
Or the cry of foot.
Yeah, if it's sketchy, we can't afford to fall.
We can't.
All right, so we can't find a safe way to get up to the top of the waterfall. Oh. Recording.
Just me? So I'm leaving no one behind. Going up. We're gonna see the falls. That is...
And that is why we call him the goat. Arduous is a perfect word to describe that.
I have a dubious plan. There we go.
No, actually, that was all that encouragement. I knew you were there. It was reassuring knowing you were there, knowing you could see what I couldn't see, because all I could see is I need to be there, not here.
Yeah.
Well, just that one where there was the log hazard you were trying to...
Yeah.
And I got too far back.
I think we were all screaming, paddle! Get all set up for those big rapids, having the perches up above, waiting to throw them. It's fun to watch people go through.
It would seem to me if I was the other end, it would feel comforting knowing that people are there watching out for you. Just ready to...
You just knew, though, that if I went that way, it's dangerous for me and for them.
Yeah.
That was one of those that it was dangerous for everybody. There's been some hairy runs.
Yeah.
These are by far the biggest runs I've done.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
By far.
I didn't know you'd done a bunch of big ones.
No. Like Kalmiopsis is the biggest one. And thinking back on it, like it was technical, but it wasn't big water.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a couple really big pillows we had to push off of.
Yeah.
Like that one with the wood going across, the big S-turn going back and forth. Like that was big water.
Yeah.
That was a lot of water moving.
Yeah, I've gotten lucky a few times on this trip where I actually hit the line that I wanted to hit.
Let me know what that feels like.
I hit the line almost every time. Very rarely miss the line.
Just when it matters. When I'm wrecking right next to its tip.
Yeah. Yeah. You're out in the middle of nowhere. There's no quitting. There's no blowing your whistle. There's no... You just got to keep your head in the game.
Sorry, you can't slip your little biscuit from me.
Do the best you can. Make that turn. Keep that line tight. Oh, I lost my line. And now that after swinging the baseball bat, now I'm feeling that muscle that I killed on the hike in with my pack, so maybe that lets up before morning.
Yeah, the candy cane portage it's not easy to work around.
Yeah, it was grueling. It was grueling. Took hours.
There's spots where you have to like leap on from one boulder to another,
Yes.
Well, that's how I fell, was leaping from one to the other.
and there's no way around it.
Or you find a route. I mean, I did it. Good.
John did it. Good.
You can do it. Yep, keep your helmet on, keep your life jacket on.
Well, it'll at least be a story to tell.
Yeah, we'll be fine. One rope, one boat at a time.
Today, we hit Conehead and Candy Cane. I'm a little excited, very excited. I'm a little nervous.
A particular set of skills has enabled us to safely get to this beach this morning. Teamwork, trust, patience, the ability to read the water, the ability to guide your raft, to hit your lines, the knowledge of your own skill limits, and the humility not to push past them. Every single one of those skills will be put to the test today. 3 miles downstream lie the 2 most dangerous rapids in the lower gorge. Candy Cane, which is a class 5, and Conehead, also class 5. And it's not as simple as just saying, oh, we'll portage them. The portages involve arduous scrambling over slippery rock and deep crevasses. The rapids themselves are fraught with massive undercuts and sieves large enough to swallow a car. Getting to these giants is no walk in the park either. Before reaching Candy Cane and Conehead, we must safely navigate False Conehead. A long, complicated Class 4 Plus, followed closely by False Candy Cane, a long, technical Class 4 with a challenging drop at the bottom. Exercise extreme caution, scout thoroughly, and, as always, know your location.
I'm pretty sure this is it, boys. Wyatt's giving the sign Eddie outright. We've arrived at Candy Cane.
Hold on to it.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Careful, John. Careful, careful. Whoa.
What'd you think?
You gonna run it?
Oh, no way. Are you running it?
You're gonna run it?
Are you running it?
Do it.
If you see a line, man, I'm not here to stop you, but...
You should.
Oh my God. Okay, so you're thinking enter river left.
I'll use your string
Over here.
right here.
Yeah, okay.
Right there.
Today begins the homeward journey. A short 3-mile Class 2 paddle will land us at our takeout, the South Fork Campground. Civilization is a bit of an adjustment after having been this far out for several days. Not to worry. We'll ease back in with a pit stop at Carl's Jr. As you float these last few miles, take a moment to appreciate where you are and what you've accomplished. It's no small feat to take on the upper Chetco. When your raft strikes the sand of the final bank and your feet step out of the river for the last time, know that at the end of a journey, these are the things that matter most. Memories. The ones you left with others and those they left with you.
Yeah. That hurt.
Even it out a little bit.
Memories of good times, of courage displayed, and of grit through adversity. How deeply you experienced the bond of camaraderie with those who journeyed with you.
I'll have the double meatless or the meatless burger, large fry, chocolate shake, 42-piece chicken wing. No, I'm just kidding.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Survival.
Survival.
The trust and faith you developed in each other. Because that bond will carry you through challenges beyond this river basin, even as memories of this trip begin to fade. Making it back to the ones you left at the start, the ones you love, the ones who waited anxiously for you to get home, and prayed that it would be in one piece.
Say hello to me. Say hello to Poppy. Are you the boy? Are you the boy? You're the boy.
Once we're home and we find our routine, it won't be long before days turn into weeks and weeks into months. And we'll start to feel that adventure knot welling inside us again called yearning. At that time, let's remember what we've learned here about the importance of knowing your location so that you always know the preferred route back to the Babyfoot Lake Trailhead. You see, walking into the wild is more than just adventure. Author Terry Pratchett asked, "Why do we go away?" And his answer was simple: so that you can come back. So that you can see the place you came from with new eyes. Because coming back to where you started is not the same as never leaving. My hope in every adventure I embark on is to inspire another to pick up a map, to put on their hiking shoes, or strap on their seatbelt, to climb into their boat and go.